only one of the great successes of this generation of Nigerians, but also a pride of his administration, which has been consistently investing in the health of Nigerians. The president notes that the polio-free status is a hard-won battle spanning over 3 decades and dedication by all stakeholders. And Lagos is our first stop on Nationwide, where we join my namesake Ruth. Ruth, you're on.
Thank you, Ruth. Smooth motoring has been restored on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway following many hours of heavy traffic jam on that route as a result of an accident involving articulated vehicles on Kara Bridge. Imole Ayotokede brings details.
Efforts by traffic officials have yielded results as they have been able to move the affected trucks off the accident scene, making way for free flow of vehicles. The federal road safety officials are still on ground to control the traffic situation.
Our priority then was to keep the road free for movement. That's why we had to make sure that all the carcasses of the vehicles were removed first before we go into any other thing, and the evacuation was done accordingly.
Akim Abdul Salam and Sani Lawal are transporters who fly Lagos to Kano and Kaduna respectively. Are you going anywhere now?
Yes, now we are able to load.
I could have loaded and go back to Kaduna yesterday, but I couldn't get the chance to go back to yesterday. It is now I'm expecting my turn.
Aside the loss of lives and other damages, the bridge was also seriously affected. For now, post-crash assessment is ongoing to ascertain the real cause of the crash to guard against reoccurrence. In Lagos, Imole Ayotokede, NTA News.
And away from transportation, the maritime sector is working on an empowerment scheme that will gainfully engage Nigerian youths and make them self-sufficient, thereby reducing the rate of crime in the country. At a media briefing in Lagos, practitioners from the industry recounted the progress made since President Muhammadu Buhari signed into law the anti-piracy law. Michael Olaleye reports.
It's exactly 1 year that President Muhammadu Buhari signed into law the Suppression of Piracy and Other Maritime Offences Act 2019. Since it became operational, 27 arrests have been made, fine issued to violators, while 156 personnel have been trained on the enforcement of the anti-piracy law. It is a feat boosted with the deployment of more machineries for the takeoff of the Deep Blue projects.
We have already achieved over 85%. We almost finished the supply of the platforms now. What remains now is the local components, that is the training of human elements. Because day in, day out, we have the platforms, air, special mission aircraft. We have 2 already, we received them. We have special helicopters, 3. They are about to arrive here in January 2021.
With security comes the huge investment opportunities, which coincide with the mandates of the industry to develop shipping and ensure that the floating dock acquired in 2018 generates 1 billion naira monthly, in addition to the quest to empower ship owners under the Cargo Financing Fund.
Our aim is to make sure that we make the funds available to the stakeholders at affordable price. What we need to do now is to converge with the entire committee, review what we did, and now submit it to the Honorable Minister for onward transmission to the National Assembly for the necessary amendment. We hope between now and October this year to start disbursing this fund.
Integrating the Navy's Falcon Eye surveillance infrastructure with the C4I and C3I operational centers are initiatives that will complement the anti-piracy law to end criminalities in the Gulf of Guinea. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
And that's it from here. Ruth is waiting in Abuja to bring us more stories after this break.
I wish to once again commend the frontline workers across the country who, on a daily basis, risk everything to ensure we win this fight. For those who got infected in the line of duty, rest assured that government will do all it takes to support you and your families during this exceedingly difficult period. I will also take this opportunity to assure you all that your safety, well-being, and welfare remains paramount to our government. I am using this opportunity to express our deepest condolences to the families of all Nigerians that have lost their loved ones as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. This is our collective loss, and we share your grief.
Tackling drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking is the focus this week on NTA Tuesday Live. What are the best practices and challenges in tackling the ills? What are the success stories in Nigeria as the world looks forward to the International Day against drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking? Join us on NTA Tuesday Live at 10:30 p.m. for this and more. Don't miss it.
Babalola University at Duekiti, Abuja, sympathizes with its alumni, undergraduates, prospective students, and parents over the closure of schools due to coronavirus pandemic. As we await the lifting of ban on schools, Abuja has put in place an elaborate arrangement to guarantee the safety of staff and students as they return. And this includes the provision of soap and water dispensers, infrared thermometers, disinfectant sanitary cabin, motorized modular fumigator, PCR machine, RNA extraction kits, COVID-19 test kits for antigen and antibody, nose masks, biosafety cabinet, a holding bay, and all other accessories to prevent COVID-19 infection and spread. At Abuja, the health and safety of staff and students our priority. Abuja, a vision in action.
NTA TV College Jos, an affiliate of Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, is currently admitting students for its ordinary diploma programs in television journalism, television production, and television engineering. Interested candidates are advised to obtain relevant information concerning eligibility at our website at www.ntatvc.edu.ng or marketing department of any NTA station nationwide. For further information, contact Assistant Director, Marketing, NTA TV College Jos on 0803-314-4383 or the Academic Office of the College on 0806-980-9807. Announcer, Registrar.
Wetin be this coronavirus thing? Na true?
You see this coronavirus will be COVID-19. Now the whole world palava, and it don't they kill many people for China, Italy, UK, US, Spain, and even for other countries them.
Okay, wetin come be the reason wey dem say make everybody tanda for house?
Now because if they waka pium go carry am from person wey don't get am, you go carry come give your family them. Now so the thing take they kill other people for other countries.
Okay, wetin come be that social distancing self?
You see social distance. Now make we no come close because this thing now from air and touch now we dey contact am. We suppose dey at least 6 foot away from each other every time.
So okay, no be only to wash your hand and to sanitize them alone.
Make we not take this washing of hand thing take play, but make we come together, join hand as we take pursue Ebola, pursue this coronavirus. Make we be each other be keepers now.
Thanks for staying tuned. All contentious issues threatening to undermine unity and cohesion within the governing All Progressives Congress will soon be resolved. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari, who gave the assurance while granting audience to the Progressives Governors Forum, expressed optimism that the party will emerge stronger. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
The meeting between President Muhammadu Buhari and the Progressive Governors Forum, represented by its chairman and governor of Kebbi State, Atiku Bagudu, as well as his counterparts from Plateau and Jigawa states, was in response to the crisis rocking the APC. Facing governorship elections in 2 states before the end of the year, the governing party had within the last 1 week lost the governor of Edo State and the deputy governor of Ondo State to the opposition party and are expected to participate in the polls. The national chairman of the party, Adams Oshomole, had also been suspended following a judicial decision. The meeting held behind closed doors discussed the best way forward in the interest of the governing party and indeed the administration.
The reason for our visit is to discuss with him as our party leader, as the leader that millions of Nigerians trust, party issues and the position of the progressive governors to support all steps to unify and bring about peaceful resolution in our party, the All Progressive Congress. And Mr. President listened attentively and discussed with us as a father, as a party leader. And it gave us all the assurance we needed to know that resolution of contentious issues will soon be arrived at.
Governor Atiku Bagudu appreciated the genuine concerns being expressed by the APC family members and indeed Nigerians over the crisis, assuring them that President Muhammadu Buhari is equally worried and committed to finding lasting solutions.
At all times, Mr. President have shown that he's a Democrat. He's not running the party. Yes, he's the party leader. He allows party organs to do and decide what should be done. He's very, very hesitant to use his standing, even as party leader, talk less of his authority as Mr. President and of the country to direct things. But at all times, he has been alive to the issues, and with the level of detail he have about all what is happening and the number of people he has listened to and heard, I believe whatever needs to be done, including the possibility of calling any organ of the party that is necessary to the resolution of lingering issues, will be done immediately.
President Buhari had last Sunday discussed similar issues with the Senate President Ahmed Lawan. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
In a related development, reports just reaching us says Pastor Osage Izeyamo has emerged candidate of the APC primary election in Edo State. He polled 27,838 to beat Dr. Pius Odabo. We'll bring you the details in our subsequent bulletin. Let's now head to Sokoto to join Abdurrahman to bring us more reports on Nationwide.
Hello, Ruth, and welcome to Sokoto. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture has conducted the 2020 aerial spray of pesticides to control the invasion of quilla beds at Bakalori Irrigation Scheme in Bakura, Maradun, and Talata Mafra local government areas of Zamfara State. The exercise is to avoid imminent loss of crops in the affected areas. Sadia Abubakar Sunau has more.
Quail beds have over the years been the major challenge of rice and sorghum farmers at Bakalori Irrigation Scheme that covers Bakura and Maradun local government areas of Zamfara State. The aerial spray of pesticides is therefore aimed at curtailing the invasion of the birds, thereby averting their devastating effect on the crops. Zamfara State Governor, represented by the State Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources, Dr. Aminu Suleiman Erkufoji, who flagged off the aerial spray exercise, applauded the federal government for the timely intervention aimed at preventing losses for the 2020 dry season farming in the area. The Zonal Director, Pest Control, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, in charge of Sokoto, Kebbi, and Zamfara State, Zia Umakeri, implored the Zamfara State government to supplement the effort through the provision of additional flight hours, pesticides, and logistics for wider coverage of the state with a view to protecting more farmlands as part of effort to achieve food security. Some of the benefiting farmers expressed their gratitude to the federal government for the intervention, expressing optimism that they would record bumper harvest this year. In Gusau, Sadia Bakartuno, NTA News.
Stakeholders in Kebbi State have resolved to work towards providing enabling laws to deal with all forms of violence against women. This came to the fore when the National Council of Women's Society, Kebbi State Chapter, staged a peaceful rally on the need to end emerging cases of rape and other forms of violence against women. Nuratanko Akili reports.
Women in Kebbi State, led by the National Council for Women's Societies, in collaboration with other civil society organizations and the labor, lending their voices to stop all forms of gender-based violence. They were unanimous on the intensity of the recent horrific experiences of women across the country and the need for the Kebbi State House of Assembly to domesticate the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act passed into law by the National Assembly in 2015.
We are mothers, and our children belongs to us, not to rapists. And they are fathers. Nobody will be happy to see his child, his daughter being raped.
You are the lawmakers. We want you to implement and take action as appropriate.
The State Assembly and the representative of the executive arm emphasized the timeliness of the agitations and the need for groups to harmonize their positions for necessary action.
We want to assure you that Kebbi State House Assembly will do everything in its powers to see that a law is promulgated against rape and other sexual violences.
Other interest groups were also at the Kebbi State House of Assembly to press home their demands to end all forms of gender-based violence. In Birnin Kebbi, Nuratanko Akili, NTA News.
That's it from here. It's back to Ruth in Abuja for continuation of Nationwide. In Abuja for continuation of Nationwide. In Abuja.
Welcome back to Abuja. Let's give you update on COVID-19. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control has announced 436 new cases and 12 deaths of COVID-19 in Nigeria. The country now has 20,244 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 6,879 cases discharged and 518 deaths recorded so far in 35 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The 436 new cases are reported from 19 states, with Lagos having 169 cases, Oyo 52, Plateau 31, Imo 29, Kaduna 28, Ogun 23, FCT and Enugu have 18 cases each, Bauchi 17, Bayelsa 14, Rivers 8, Oshun and Kano 6 each, Edo and Benue 5 each, Adamawa 3, Borno 2, while Abia and Ekiti have 1 case each. All right, let's head to a Benin Network Center to join Agatha. I'm sure we want to hear the update on the APC primaries. Let's join her now.
Thank you, Ruth. Good evening and welcome to Benin. Pastor Sageze Yamu has emerged winner of the All Progressives Congress, the APC primary election in Edo State. He polled 27,838 votes to beat Dr. Pius Odubu, who scored 3,776 votes, and Osaze Obaze, who got 2,724 votes. Ogochukuka Ona reports.
The result was announced after the returning officers of the 18 local government areas took turns to present the outcome. Resident Electoral Commissioner, INEC, Edo State, and other officials from Abuja witnessed the announcement.
Before the primaries commenced, we got notice of withdrawal from 2 of the candidates. But in keeping with the provisions of the Electoral Act as amended, we insisted that the election must go on. And the election went on. We here now have the results as collected. In total, between the candidates or aspirants, Dr. Pius Ozubu and Osaro Obaze and Pastor Eze Yamu, Osaro Obaze has a total vote of 2,724 votes. While Dr. Pius Odubu has a total vote of 3,776 votes. and Pastor Eze Yamu has a total vote of 27,838 votes. From the reports and the calculation here, Pastor Osage Eze Yamu, who scored a total vote of 27,838 votes, has the highest number of votes cast in the election and is hereby returned the candidate of APC for the forthcoming governorship election in Edo.
The exercise held in the 192 wards across the state. It was with compliance with extant laws prohibiting gathering of more than 20 persons. In Benin, Ogochkuka Ona, NTA News.
Now we have in the studio Pastor Osage Zeyamu, who just emerged candidate of the APC after the primary election held in Benin, in Edo State, sorry. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Now, what are your feelings at this time?
Well, I'm humbled and I give all the glory to God. It's not been easy, but I want to thank God for his faithfulness. I also want to thank the party leadership for a very transparent process. There were fears and apprehension, but I'm happy that the party and our members were able to put in place a system that did not violate the Edo State government's COVID-19 regulation. I also want to thank those who contested with me. My brother, Dr. Pius Udubu, we are from the same local government. I want to appreciate him. I know he means well for the state. And I hope that we'll be able to work seriously together. I also want to thank Kusaro Obaze, the man from Oredo, my brother. I also express my hands of love to him. I believe we'll work together. And of course, it's just, for me, an opportunity to thank all APC members. We've been having a series of problems, but I've always said that the expiration date will be when we finish our nomination. And I haven't done that. I think it's time to reconcile. It's time to come together. It's been a harrowing experience for many of the members, but thank God that overwhelmingly they have chosen to support me, and I want to pledge here and now that I will not betray that trust. I thank the security agencies for a very professional job, the IG, the Inspector General of Police, the DGSSS, and of course the representatives in the Edo State, Commissioner of Police, the Director of SSS, for a fantastic job. I thank our royal fathers, especially His Royal Majesty the Oba of Benin, for always preaching peace and telling us that we must not spill blood because we want to run for office. All said and done, it's been a good experience, and I thank God for it.
Now, how would you describe the exercise that just brought you in as the candidate of the party?
I think it was very credible, very smooth. It could have been, the numbers would have been a lot higher, but we were conscious of the COVID-19 regulation. People had thought that we would choose to disobey it, but we didn't want to do that. A law is a law. And the state government haven't said people should not gather above 20. We needed to ensure that at any given time we didn't exceed that number. So the regulation was, when you are coming, don't go beyond 18, and then by the time you finish, you go back and make sure that all those who are coming in, they wear face masks, make sure that you have running water, make sure you have sanitizers, and we complied with all of them. And to the glory of God, in the 192 wards, no incident of violence, there was no problem, everything went smoothly. And I think it's a very wonderful experience.
Okay, you rightly mentioned earlier that APC is going through some tough times in Edo State. To you, what's the way forward?
Well, I think the whole issue centered on second term or who will take the ticket. Unfortunately, the governor, Governor Obaseki, did not complete the process. For me, he would have gone to appeal if they had issues with the certificate and tried to bring better particulars. I saw on social media he had gone to INEC to tell them to correct his name. I think that is what he would have done. And for me, really, I think he should come back because we are a family. I made the mistake of leaving before and I regretted it, but now I'm back and I don't want to go through that same mistake. I think that now that we have gone through nomination, we all have to just come back together as a family. We'll be talking to ourselves, we'll go through the 18 local governments, and I believe that in the next few weeks, you will see a united and vibrant APC, but be rest assured that this is an APC state, and there's no doubt that we will win the elections overwhelmingly. I don't see one local government that will lose. I'm very confident that we're going to win overwhelmingly in all the 18 local governments of the state.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on Nationwide.
Thank you.
Pastor Sagi Izayamu just emerged candidate of the APC in Edo State for the September governorship election. Nationwide continues in Abuja with Ruth.
Many thanks, Agatha. Let's look at all the issues away from, The Buhari administration has been given thumbs up by industry experts on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria for facilitating an expanded trade and investment in the country in the last 5 years. Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment Adeni Adebayo, while attributing the gains in the sector, says the federal government is poised to provide more funding for small-scale, medium enterprise and entrepreneurs, as well as manufacturers to mitigate the economic impact of COVID-19. Let's hear from Lydia Sampson.
Accolades poured in from guests in the studio and via tweets from Nigerians for the present administration's critical reforms over the years, which have enhanced the ease of doing business, encouraged local production and reduced import. To further consolidate on the success so far, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment Adeni Adebayo said the ministry is already engaging the Central Bank of Nigeria for more robust commodity exchange program in the country. Palliatives to cushion the economic impact of COVID-19 on businesses are also to be rolled out soon.
Nigeria has improved on the ease of doing business since the advent of this administration. Since 2017 to 2019, we went up 25 places, and from 2019 to date, we have gone up another 15 places. And that has put us at number 131. I can assure you that by the time the next ranking is done, because of things that we have put in place already, we will go up again.
For both the President, National Association of Nigerian Traders, Ken Okoha, and Mansour Ahmed, President, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, the land border closure and timely engagement with critical stakeholders for policy formulation have been game changers for the present administration.
Border closure, which was on the 20th of August 2019. And I think that if there is any good thing that has happened to this country, that was one radical decision that the country has taken in life since I was born that I know. And that was good.
Manufacturers Association was the first to undertake an in-depth study of the potential impact of AFCFTA on the manufacturing sector. Then it was followed by the ministry, I think, and the Office of Trade Negotiation. I believe that you cannot go into policy without, first of all, having a clear idea, a clear understanding of how this policy will pan out.
They have appealed for clear distinction between the goods of legitimate traders and smugglers being held at the land borders, as well as the need for government to reactivate the Export Credit Guarantee Scheme to empower Nigerian businessmen and women. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And marketers are counting their losses as goods worth millions of naira have been destroyed by an inferno that gutted parts of Oba Market, one of the major markets located in the city center in Benin. Obehi Apreze reports that it took the joint efforts of fire services from 7 state and federal government institutions to control the fire.
Despite the collaborative efforts of the state and federal fire services, the Nigerian Army School of Supply, the Nigerian Air Force, the University of Benin, and the Nigerian Petroleum Development Company, who were on ground shortly after the fire started, as well as the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria. The fire, which started from the livestock section, spread to clothing section and parts of the first floor.
So for over 5 hours, we've been trying to combat the fire, and I can see we are making progress from everything.
While some traders managed to salvage their wares, others were not so lucky.
Everything we get, don't burn. So everybody go start from square one. Who the boss we be now with the bottom money to do market? Everybody know. As I ask, now yes, they say fire there over market, so now I don't come. As I reach here now, my fire everything don't burn.
The cause of the fire is yet to be ascertained.
As we speak right now, we cannot ascertain what caused it. Number one, there was no NEPA light. There was no light. as at the time this incident occurred. But I must assure you that the state will not relent in investigating the cause of this fire outbreak.
After over 7 hours of rage, the fire was finally put under control. Governor Godwin Obaseki was also at the scene of the incident to gauge the extent of the damage. Meanwhile, the governor has set up an investigative panel made up of the police, the DSS, Oedo Local Government Council, both the state and federal fire services, and the SSA to the governor on emergencies. They are to investigate the cause of the incident and submit their report in 10 days. In Benin, Opehi Otoba Prasai, NT News.
Overview of EFCC achievement in Enugu State. These and more we'll get with Mina as we join her now. Mina?
Good evening and welcome to Enugu. About 150 households stand the risk of losing their homes and sources of livelihood to gully erosion ravaging parts of Ubinofia community in Ezagu local government area of Enugu State if urgent interventions do not come their way. Jude Abugu visited the Ubinofia gully site and brought back this report.
The about 30 feet deep gully covering almost 1 kilometer has cut off more than 50 households, denying them access to their homes and farmlands, while over 100 others stand a risk of being submerged due to heavy flow of water in the gully during rainy season.
Our children cannot go to school. This is a modern primary school. Look at the deepness of it. The children cannot access it. The women that is the attentive women, the pregnant women, they can't go to hospital.
You cannot enter in your house. You park around other area to enter your house.
Some of the community leaders told NTA News that the gully is as a result of an abandoned federal government road project which was intended to link the community with Enugu-Onitsha Expressway.
The construction company that building the road that diverted the erosion from Udi to my community.
The agrarian community depends on its rich farm produce for the survival of the inhabitants. However, they regret that food production is gradually coming to a halt. This is the community's daily market, where members of this community bring their farm produce to sell. But today, it is an abandoned market due to the threat of this gully erosion. Also in front of me is the community's modern primary school, a government school where the pupils have also stopped coming to school due to this threat of this gully erosion. From Obinofia in Ezagu local government area of Enugu State, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has charged youths in the country to embrace positive, legitimate source of livelihood and avoid financial crimes. Head of the EFCC Zonal Office, Ibrahim Bapa, gave this advice during an overview of the Commission's achievements in Enugu State. Amechi Pius reports.
It was established in 2003. It's a known fact that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has made remarkable strides in its war against financial crimes in the country. Through its zonal offices, the Commission has made huge monetary and asset recoveries running to billions of naira, as well as secured convictions. According to the head of the EFCC in Enugu Zonal Office, who was represented at the briefing, 113 convictions were successfully concluded with over 400 million naira recovered by the agency between January and June this year.
All right, that's the much we can take on Nationwide at this time. Let's join the daily briefing by the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19.